There's a great sketch in the Beyond the Fringe album, which goes right back to Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, Jonathan Miller and Alan Bennett in the 1960s. And the sketch is The End of the World, and it's essentially a sect of millenarians who gather on a hill to anticipate the end of the world. They have a long and quite amusing discussion about what it's likely to involve. Will the veil of the temple be rent asunder? And the time comes, they count down to the end of the world, and nothing happens. And Peter Cook, who's the leader of the sect, ends the sketch by, well, never mind, lads, same time next week. And I always thought that was very funny, because the end of the world has been consistently over-predicted by human beings for millennia. We're fascinated by the idea of the end of the world, and I think it's for a slightly different reason from the one that you hypothesized. We have the reality that we as individuals end to contend with. That's just one of the givens of human life. Even for billionaires in Silicon Valley, right now, the end of their individual lives is inevitable. And that's really the hardest thing to deal with about life, that it ends. And we also know how it ends. We know what that's like, because at some time or another in our lives, we encountered death. Death of a grandparent, a parent, of a friend. We also see things being destroyed. We see buildings collapse or bridges. We see fires consume areas of woodland. So we know what dissolution looks like, not just for us as individuals, but we know what it looks like for expanses of land or edifices. And I think we therefore infer the consoling thought that it's all going to go down in flames at some future date. And the great monotheistic religions have as one of their centerpieces the end of the world. It's there in Islam as well as in Christianity. And I think it's also exciting. I think we find the end of the world a kind of cinematic prospect, which is why there are so many movies about it as well as works of science fiction. So we're fascinated by the end of the world because it's clearly a spectacular prospect, but it's also consoling to us. We may die as individuals, but everything's going down at some point. And the issue is when. So many Christians at successive periods in the history of Christianity have anticipated quite an imminent end of the world. And of course, they're always disappointed, like Peter Cook and Dudley Moore.